Hi, my name is Darryl, and I want to tell you a little bit about our ministry in South Africa. I, along with my wife and our 3 children, live in Cape Town, South Africa, where I am originally from. After spending a few years in the US living and working as a missions professor at a Christian university, we felt burdened to come back and be a part of helping to rebuild this great nation. One of the most critical needs facing the country right now is a shortage of quality education across the spectrum. From elementary schools to high schools to universities, the education sector has struggled systemically due to the economic, social, and political factors. Of the 1.1 million children that enter into elementary school each year, only 100,000 of those ever graduate from high school, and only half of those end up getting any kind of tertiary education. In addition to that, many of the educators themselves are not sufficiently trained to be able to deal with the complex needs of educating a child in today's society. So we're interested in helping to increase the competence of those educators who would educate the nation's children in the future to come. For a nation that suffers from deep poverty and up to 30% unemployment, gaining these critical skills and know-how in order to be able to access the economy is critical. I have and continue to work within the university system as a lecturer and administrator and a consultant and teach classes every semester. However, that's not enough. Beyond economic and educational transformation, what South Africa really needs is a spiritual transformation. And we endeavor to find and train and develop, mentor, and help lead people who would disciple other people around them in their communities and in their workplaces. To love people through their vocation. That is the essence behind our work, and we call it Praxis. We hope that through Praxis, which is the ability to take complex ideas and philosophies, ideologies, and make them real and practical in everyday life, we'll be able to create critical interventions that will deal with the complex problems our nation has. So why a surge? This is a pivotal moment in Praxis history. After 7 months of acclimation back into the country, we are now in a position to begin making significant inroads into key areas of this ministry. For example, educating educators for exponential systemic change. Not only in the Western Cape, but throughout South Africa and the rest of Africa, we have several key opportunities to do that in the coming months. Establishing a missional community and expanding our study abroad options to beyond the options presented by Summit University at this time and into other universities around the country. Several of these initiatives are intended to be self-sustaining over time. However, the initial and middle phases of these programs and this groundwork in developing them need your support. Thus, we're asking you to help us meet the deficit in our support that will enable us to keep meeting the needs of the people around us at this time. So we're asking you to join the 50 by 20 campaign. Just 50 people at $20 a month will erase the deficit that we currently have in our ministry. Think about it, $20. Many people spend that on a few coffees at a coffee shop each month, or perhaps going to the movies or eating at a fast food restaurant. What if you considered investing that into something that had much more of an impact around the world, and especially on a continent in such need of leadership like Africa? We intentionally try to keep our supporter base as small as possible so we can maintain and build relationships with those people who are part of this ministry. We want to remind you that all of our gifts are tax deductible through our agency, the Joy to the World Foundation. If you go onto the website and click on Joy to the World Foundation and our project Praxis, it'll bring you directly to our page. It is very easy for you to then donate to our ministry by using paper check, e-check, credit cards, or even a bank wire. In addition, we have a leadership team that helps direct the Ministry of Praxis in South Africa. The Praxis Advisory Team is made up of missionaries, business leaders, academics, practitioners, and pastors who help guide and direct the various initiatives that we're about. The potential of what we do is huge. We have a desperate nation that is constantly on the verge of descending into violence and even into despair. Former President Nelson Mandela once said that education was the key intervention that will help keep people out of poverty and become productive in a dignified manner. I agree. But we need more than that. We need these productive people to be transformed by the gospel as well, so that the love of Christ spills over into everything that they do. The gospel plus excellent education equals Praxis. That's what we do, and with your help, we can educate the future leaders of this country and increasing the capacity. Would you help us in this cause? Thanks for listening.